Are we going? I never know when to start counting. Why don't you just start the show since you know when I'm on a delay?
I mean, that makes
What's up,
sense.
guys? This
Tell yourself it's very
I
weird.
don't have my
T3
script up.
T3 Media.
The media.
You got it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Talking Through the Media's your home for entertainment news and reviews by fans for fans. If you like what you see, make sure you like the video. Click that subscribe button to see more. You can also support us by becoming a member or sponsoring us on Patreon. That gives you access to exclusives. Also, make sure you share your thoughts with us. Drop them in the comment box below because we want to hear them. I'm Amy Newman. Joining me today is Chris Fagan. Chris, how you doing? Big day today.
It's a great day today. I'm sorry, guys. It's once again, it's all my fault. I'm ahead of schedule. Everything's perfect. I'm gonna be on time, and then the Streamlabs, which I'm still getting used to, just start jumbling stuff around. I'm waiting for Joe Ryan to get on there and start yelling at me. Damn it, Chris! I'm not gonna be moderating this show if you're gonna be 5 minutes, 10 minutes late. I apologize, Joe. It's once again, I take full responsibility. I humble myself before you and beg your guys' forgiveness. So let's get right into the show. You know how this usually goes during what's this, hump day? Guess what day it is? We are going to get into like three major topics, trending topics that have happened throughout the week, and we're going to give our little thoughts, our opinions, that you didn't ask for about it, and just talk about what we like, what we don't like, and what just generally entertains us throughout the week. And get your guys' thoughts on it. So, guys, if you want to contribute to the show, you want to talk with us on the chat, you want to send a super chat to get a question in while we're streaming, support the show, hit the like button, become a subscriber if you haven't become a subscriber already, guys. What the hell are you waiting for? And let's just keep talking like I always say. And without further ado, let me just start with Amy. How are you doing, though?
I am doing good. I was telling you before we started, inauguration today. My parents just got the COVID vaccine. We had a small earthquake today in LA. I am just going a million directions at once right now, but feeling overall pretty good. The ground has stopped moving.
The world is pulling you, and so it's a good day. It's a crazy
I like
day.
to think it was just like the world setting a hard reset.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It was just whatever that is, like control, like shift, like power button, just like, oh.
That's it. Well, it happens.
I don't actually know how to reset things. Apparently, I just realized.
I mean, we'll just be buffering for the whole.
I think
day.
I took a screenshot, whatever those buttons were.
Exactly. Well, we're gonna. Hopefully, we can just end the day off pretty good. Hey, Ryan, I see you, buddy. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for moderating and I thought you said you were gonna invite like 1,000 people today. Nah, we'll talk about it later. But let's get started on the show. What's the first topic of the day?
All right, warning. Sorry. Warning. The following contains spoilers for Wandavision episodes 1 and 2. So if you haven't watched them, what the heck are you doing? Steal your friend's Disney Plus password and check them out. Which are the first 2 episodes are now streaming on Disney Plus. Now, after the premiere, fans of the show have flooded social media with more speculations as to where it is all heading. Another way of saying it, what the hell is going on? Bursts of color repeatedly intrude on the town's black and white existence, like a toy helicopter that falls from the sky, or a splash of red blood on a housewife's hand. Beekeepers are crawling from the sewers. Mysterious voices on the radio reach out to Wanda. And oh, right, episode 2 ends with Wanda miraculously a few months pregnant as the entire world turns to Technicolor. How is SWORD, which stands for Sentient Weapon Observation Response Division, involved in all this? And finally, what is up with Geraldine, played by Teyana Paris? She was cast as Monica Rambeau. Rambeau, a name that I was reading. I was like, yeah, it's like a French name. And then I said it. I was like, Rambo. Anyways, Monica Rambeau, a name that should sound mighty familiar to anyone who saw Captain Marvel. I've just doubted myself that I
except for Amy.
Last we saw, she was the 11-year-old girl whose mother was Carol Danvers' best friend. So the question remains, what the hell is going on?
You watched these 2 episodes. What do you think so far about what Disney Plus is giving us with WandaVision?
I mean, I'm the wrong person to ask about, like, how does this all connect into the Marvel? Like, I am not your girl for that. Like, I kind of remember what happened in Endgame, kind of. Like, I like Marvel, but I'm not like a deep cut fan kind of person. But I just as a fan of television and of interesting storytelling, I know this is not a hot take, but I am loving this show. Because as I've said, I've always said on this channel, I am not always hands down a superhero person. Like I don't care because they're superheroes. And if I'm being totally blunt,
go for it. Yeah.
Having sort of piecemealed together the Marvel canon, like going into, you know, the final Avengers movies. Mm-hmm. I always found Wanda and Vision super boring because I didn't really get what their deal was. And to me this totally just like proved me wrong. I think both those actors are so fun to watch and really just digging in with such a unique concept. I mean, I think just all the TV stuff is so well done. And even like that shift in the first 2 episodes of like starting it in the 50s and moving it to the 60s. Yeah. And the way they sort of did it clearly, but not stereotypical. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh, we're in the swinging 60s. It's just like, oh no, the skirts got short. Like the costume work's phenomenal. The direction's like wonderfully like, oh, the camera angles are just getting a little tighter and a little quicker cut back and less of that like wide angle.
Yeah, even
like,
even the format of the screen was old school. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, no, that first episode super like wide angle, like I Love Lucy, like 3 camera, you know, live audience sitcom, and then as we move into that second episode, like you're getting more mid shots, you're getting more close ups, and I think all of that was just so beautifully done. Not to mention this just incredible sense of almost unease, like it's almost creepy, like those moments we mentioned. It's like, oh my god, what is happening? And that genuine sense of like, what the hell is going on? The I'm not dropping it all at once.
Yeah,
I love that we get to sit here and talk about it, and it's not like, oh, you didn't just stay up the first night and watch all 12 episodes or whatever it is.
We'll be talking about it for a week, and then nobody will be talking about it for the rest of the year. Exactly.
I have thought about it repeatedly, like multiple times throughout this week, and I love not feeling that pressure of like, well, I don't have, 10 hours to commit to this, I'm not going to bother. Right. It was so refreshing, and it's a way to get to go, I'm going to sit down for this hour, and then I have something to look forward to this week. Like, exactly. It has been a rough year. It is nice to have things to look forward to, but that's sort of my more TV nerdy than superhero nerdy assessment.
So what do you think? I do want to the like that. What did it say? That love letter to that old school style of television that they did more than any connections to Endgame or the other Avengers movies and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, and as just a lover of like good storytelling and kind of a good mystery and a good, how do you let a story unfold and letting things be. I think they're certainly building themselves up to really pay this off, but I'm hoping they do it. But like, as I was saying, I do want to make sure, I'd love to hear what you think. And if you have like more theories, as I think more of the Marvel fan.
To dive into the psychosis of what
it's gonna get nerd sweaty.
I was never like a Wanda or a Vision or comic book reader. I know a little bit about it, how they do actually fall in love in the comic books. They have twin babies. I know that it was always odd that, like you said, how is it that these two even like each other? And I think I've heard people break it down that, well, let's just keep it with the MCU, that like she might identify with Vision because of their connection from that second Avengers movie, that Age of Ultron thing where she started and where he started, and the loss of her brother. Maybe, I don't know, maybe she's just such a loner that she sees something in Vision that she knows that maybe she doesn't want a real a real man or anything like that. She wants somebody like him he seems like he's going to be caring, he's protective, he's loving, but he doesn't seem like he'll have any of the other hang-ups or something like issues that us dumb guys will have. He seems like he could become the perfect partner or somebody. So maybe that's what she sees in him. I don't know, something weird. But they have some kind of weird thing, right? And
I love a good mismatched couple too.
They do seem like the
I love
the
a
oddest
good
couple, but it works.
I don't even know how it works, but they're cute.
And it makes sense that they're doing that homage to all those old shows, because those were always the mismatched couple. The I Love Lucy, the Dick Van Dyke, the well, you just name it. They were always like a mismatch.
I love that they did like the Bewitched
exactly.
animated sequence for the second episode was so cute.
Exactly, the I Dream of Jeannie kind of a thing as well, and it just works. You know that it's going to get weirder as it goes on. They're giving us that little drip of what's to come, the mystery that we gotta, I guess, that onion we have to peel. And
I hope it doesn't get, and this might be an unpopular opinion, I hope it doesn't get too, at least
to what,
too
comic
fast.
Booky?
Yeah. No, I like it.
I don't think it will. I think on the last
seen...
2 episodes, that's when it'll burst open. But I think
that would be great, honestly. Yeah. Like slow burn it till then.
Yeah.
And like personally, part of what I think is so interesting about it, and this could be off base, but hearing people talk about the theory that, and it certainly seems like a big part of the show, that beyond the like Marvel superhero, like big bad, like all that stuff that they're probably setting up for, it's a really interesting sort of heartbreaking under the surface look at like a woman dealing with grief. Like I love the concept that this is her like creating this ideal world of like the marriage and the family and the perfect kind of life that
dealing
she
with loss.
Was cheated out of when Vision died.
Yeah, and if you saw how she if you saw how she processed that when she got her hands on Thanos, that whole "you took everything from me" moment, and kicked Thanos' ass all over the damn place. Which, technically, she won that fight. He had to cheat to get his ass. He knew he was screwed. But but if this whole thing is about her dealing with grief and it's just her, if this is a world of her making, that I think would even be better for me. Everybody's speculating what villain could be doing this. Maybe she made a deal with you see little things around the show like Hydra. I saw the Hydra logo. That was the villains that gave her powers, her and her brother. Her powers in the Avengers Age of Ultron movies. So maybe it's them. You see the sword logo. We just talked about that when on the dialogue that you read out, and that whole organization. Maybe it's them that are just trying to help her bring Vision back. There's this what if thing that's happening right now. That's a big key of the show. I think that's why people are really digging it. It's like they love speculating. Is it Wanda? Is it this other villain? Is it AIM, a group called AIM that's in the comic books? Is it Sword? Is it Shield? Is it Tony? Who knows? Is it the I don't know. It could be Lucifer from the TV show that TV show Lucifer that I love to watch. I know it's a different comic book, but still, you never know. It's gonna get weird. But I think that I'm leaning more towards that it's one of those organizations, but I'm also leaning towards it's her at the same. It's also her. I think she volunteered. I think whatever's going on, I think it's like making a deal with the devil kind of a thing.
That's interesting.
I think she wasn't getting what she wanted from whoever was trying to help her bring Vision back, and she's grieving so much. She's like, I'll do whatever. Even though I know these guys might take advantage of whatever their evil plot is, they seem to be able to give me a piece of what I want. I think she made like a deal with the devil kind of a thing, and I think that's kind of what we're processing. That's probably why these agents or these other people are trying to find her. You hear that little radio, Wanda, who did this to you? What's going on? I think they're trying to pull her out, but I think she wants to be there, even though she probably should. I think the messages or the clues are there that she wants to be there because she seems to be able to control some stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but the sword and the Hydra stuff, maybe she made a deal with the wrong people. And that's the fun thing about this show. It's so unique about it. What the hell is going on? Why is the red stuff, in color and all this other stuff? It's bonkers right now, and I'm having fun with it. I like it so far. I like it.
Yeah. No, and I think it's the strongest choice though if it is her. I'm sure it'll be her in some capacity, but I hope they lean into that as the concept, because I feel like if they lean too hard into like, oh, it's about her grief, but also here's the villain, I think it would cheapen it. So
I was and somebody in the chat, I tried to bring it up. It's a Woe Boy said, that Vision is dead, and I'm thinking about that because they were, was it Shuri? She was working on a way to keep Vision alive and keep him, his normal self, and still be able to remove the stone without, because if you remove the stone, that's pretty much his soul. That's what's giving him his soul. So she's pretty much trying to figure out a way to keep him and remove the stone. And they were working on that. Maybe they figured it out. Maybe they came close, and maybe this other organization, these evil groups or whatever, are like, well, they figured that part out, and we're gonna try to do the other half of it, and blah blah blah. Maybe that's what's going on. I don't know. That's the fun part about it. But I think Shuri was getting close. She was working on it. She's the smartest person in the world in the MCU. But I think part of that has to do with it too. Maybe there's a lot of connections moving forward with the upcoming movies, the Spider-Man movie that's coming out, the next Doctor Strange movie that's coming out, and WandaVision are all connected. So I don't know. Maybe it's magic, but it's fun to speculate what's going on. What is that Woe Boy said? That Vision's dead, right? He is a mental projection of Wanda. I don't think so. I don't think he's just a mental projection of Wanda. I think he's there. I think some part of him is there. I don't know if it's really him. What do you think? You think Vision's just in her head in this simulation, Amy? Oh, did I lose you for a second?
I lost.
Oh, did the stream? Oh, let's see if I get this. Let me put it on me for a second and see if I get you back. But I think I got you back.
There we go. I plugged an Ethernet cable in, so hopefully that helps. Yeah.
But can you hear me? Sorry about that, guys.
Totally.
I'm glad I had it on. I think I had it on me full screen for the whole time. I went super sweaty nerd on that. So my question was, Woe Boy in the live chat, he's saying, you guys know that Vision is dead, right? He is a mental projection of Wanda's, of the so-called normal life that she wanted to have with him when he was alive. Do you think Vision is dead, or do you think that is Vision? Or do you think it's a projection?
I think Vision's dead. I think the world's too weird. I agree. I think I stand by that theory. And like I said, I think part of it's hoping, because as sad as that is, I do think it's one of the more kind of emotionally interesting things Marvel's done. If they do really lean into that, I think it would be a really strong choice. But we did ask the community. We asked in that community tab here on YouTube, we said, in WandaVision on Disney Plus, who do you believe the villain or the one controlling everything will be? 39% said, is it Mephisto?
I think that's how you say it correctly. I'm not
a
a WandaVision or Doctor Strange guy, so that might be correct. Let's just say you're correct, but
I'm gonna yell that. Well, yep, that's what 39% of y'all said. 37% said Wanda herself, 13% said Grim Reaper, and 10% said Nightmare.
I have an update on that. You said 39% said Mephisto? Yeah, I just turned. It says 40% now says Mephisto. Now 37 Wanda. And everything else is still the same. It just went up one point.
I think it's Wanda, because I can say her name, and I think it's interesting.
You think it's all one? I think that is Vision. I think that's him. I think because I mean, future movies, he's got to come back. Nobody stays dead in these comic books, so I think it's him, because he's starting to notice the strange things that are going on. Unless it's like a Matrix situation where it's like you're noticing. Strange things that are going on because I created you as
Don't
much
spoil
as
Matrix for me. I'm literally
no,
watching.
oh no, not Matrix. I'm not talking about. I'm just speculating. Like maybe it's a situation where the reason why he's kind of seeing weird stuff is like maybe Wanda's gonna say it's because I tried to recreate you as best as I could, but if I'm gonna be mad at that, it's gonna be like I tried to make you recreate you as best as I could, but you're not real. I'm not gonna like that at all. I hope it's gotta be him. I hope it is, but we'll see. We'll see. But guys, let us know what you guys think about that. With in the community tab, it's still up. So if you want to vote, if you haven't voted on it yet, so go to the community tab and let us know who do you think it is. Is it Wanda? Is it one of the other MCU villains like Mephisto, Nightmare, or Grim Reaper? And just let us know what you guys thinking about that and put it in the box. And whatever you put in the box, we'll probably talk about it more. And we got your mail. Like Joe Ryan, he says, I don't watch the show. Should I be? Wait, Joe, you haven't watched the show yet? What are you? I know you're joking. I think you just said. I think you said something later that you did watch the show afterwards, right? I think. Man, did we just spoil the hell out of you, Joe? Sorry about that, man. All right, what's the next?
Fine, it's only the first two. See, that's the good news. We can only spoil so much.
You can only spoil so much. Yeah, that's cool.
Our next story from Variety. Josh Duhamel is in talks to star opposite Jennifer Lopez in the Lionsgate romantic adventure Shotgun Wedding, replacing Armie Hammer in the lead role. Hammer dropped out of the project last Wednesday with a representative for the production explaining, given the imminent start date, Armie has requested to step away from the film, and we support him in this decision. Duhamel would star as Tom opposite Lopez's Darcy in the film about a couple who gathers their families together for a destination wedding. Things start to go south after the pair gets cold feet, and it really takes a turn for the worse when the entire wedding party is taken hostage. Hammer has been trending on social media last week after direct Instagram messages were posted sharing graphic sexual fantasies that appeared to be written by Hammer, which have not been verified. I'm not responding to these bullshit claims, but in light of the vicious and spurious online attacks against me, I cannot in good conscience now leave my children for 4 months to shoot a film in the Dominican Republic. Lionsgate is supporting me in this, and I'm grateful to them for that, Hammer said in a statement.
I have a question.
Yeah.
His son was sucking on his toes?
What?
I mean, that was one of the things that he posted.
I did not hear that one.
It's probably a good thing you were focused on the read because it was image of it was right next to you. It was one of the things that he put out there. He's like he was joking around. Maybe he just thinks he's funny, or maybe he just has this weird sense of humor. Because
the ones I saw, and here's the thing, I want to clarify that my issue with this is not, I'm not trying to kink shame nobody, is what I'm trying to say. This is not about kink shaming. This is
toe sucking is awesome. Yeah.
Well, but like for me, it's way more about like coming at women in their, messages with like aggressive sexual messages. Yeah. And like, I believe one of his exes did come out and say like, and I'm not saying they're true or false. I know we don't have confirmation. Mm-hmm. One of his exes did come out and say something along the lines of like, this feels very possible. This feels like him. And I believe there have been talks about him having been emotionally abusive, which to me is like, everybody focused on like the cannibalism fantasy of it, which is not my thing. But if two consenting adults agreed to not actually cannibalize each other,
right? But
if that's like a mutual fantasy or something, two consenting adults agree to like play in that space. I'm not here to be like, oh, you shouldn't. Yeah. It's not my goddamn business. But like harassing women and being emotionally abusive, yeah. I do take issue with. I feel like there is like a weird like, this isn't aimed at people with weird sexual kinks, and I feel like it very quickly took that turn. Like cannibalism's wrong, but like if you're into it,
if that's your kink,
I think I've made my point.
As long as you're not literally eating people, I guess that's right. It's this.
Yeah. No, people role play all kinds of things that in actuality would be like horrific or illegal.
I broke in and I'm a cannibal. I'm gonna eat you, yum, gum, 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 gum. Yeah,
Right, but just like sending that to women at random, not so cool.
Oh my goodness, it's the like I said, I don't know much about it. I know he was doing this movie, and then they respectfully asked, like, pick up your and get the got it, and he's like, fine, you know. Before all we know, it was a big like, I don't want to leave, you know, you can't fire me out of a contract, and they forced him out, and then the PR people get together, and it's like, we have mutually agreed that this is the, you know, they always try to clean it up at the end of it, make it seem like nobody's mad at each other and stuff, but. I'm glad that you didn't see it, I guess, because I could hit the playback button. I could show you the image, but I'm thinking, is this a guy who just has a dark, weird sense of humor, and he just doesn't care? He thinks he's just being innocent. I'm just joking.
No.
Okay, if that's okay.
That's not what I mean. I don't know the guy, and again, this is all alleged, but like. That's not the vibe I get from what I'm seeing. You don't, here's the thing. I've been a woman on the internet long enough to be able to tell you men don't send you things like that on the internet to be funny.
Just to be funny.
That might be their cover story, but that's not why they send you
they're warming the engine. That's what they're doing. They're trying to set the stage. It's like, hey, it's a beautiful day out there. What do you think about spanking?
No, and especially a guy like that, I'm sure there's a degree of like, I'm very conventionally good looking. I'm rich. I'm famous. I can say whatever I want to whomever I want.
The dude was almost Batman. And,
was he really?
Actually, technically, he was Batman. There was a Justice League movie that was greenlit in the mid 2000s, and at the last second, I guess they decided not to do it for whatever reason. Maybe it was because of the upcoming Superman movie and Batman Nolan movies that they were doing at the time. They didn't want to have two Batmans at the same time, but he was cast as Batman, and
that would have been great for that Batman script they were workshopping where Batman murdered and ate the Joker.
You said what? Which movie?
What? You know, the one they were workshopping where Batman eats the Joker.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, you would have loved that.
The script. Yeah, when Batman went straight cannibal, and
Armie Hammer comes in like, I have some rewrites.
The dude's got the most awesome name. The dude looks like he's like a chiseled dude. He looks great. He's got the most badass name in the world.
He's got a very Ken doll energy going on.
He's got the
but
Ken
I feel
doll
like that
vibe.
is also accompanied with the like of a human Ken doll. Like if I look at him too long, I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like this.
It's like you don't. What do you say? What is Joe saying? You don't want to yuck your yum on that.
I don't want to yuck nobody's yum,
but I'm not into cannibalism.
Consenting adults.
I mean, whatever to consider. Look, I think that he just needs to stay off the internet for a while. He needs to get some. If he needs to talk to somebody, if he's got some dark like thoughts in his head that he's being a little too aggressive out there, then he probably needs to talk to some professionals about that, because he's a very good actor. He's got a lot of talent. He's got all the talent in the world, and if there's an issue that he just is oblivious to, and he just here are the hints, here are the signals that okay, third party perception is telling you they don't like this, or but
I am gonna say this, and this is gonna sound terrible, and this is based on nothing.
Okay.
Maybe this is just me, but like, you know how sometimes there are people where like, and again, it's like, yeah, good actor, conventionally very handsome. Like I remember when he came out in The Social Network, it's like, wow, who's that? He's great. But like when I heard all these like allegations,
Jason
you
Bateman.
know how there are some people where you just go, yeah, I get it.
I can see
like,
that.
There was just something about him where I was like,
Armie Hammer
yeah,
got
probably.
Armie
Maybe
Hammer has,
there's like a spectrum where you become so conventionally handsome, he kind of just like loops back around.
Yeah. Armie
and
Hammer,
I know I'm like one to
like news report. Armie Hammer found in his basement.
But like it does just become like, you were made in a lab and I don't care for it.
Yeah. There's something wrong. Look at his eyes. Something in his eyes. I have the same feeling. All right, let me get off track for a second. I was just joking.
Oh, do you have someone else you have that sense about? Does that like?
It's
like
so bad, and I don't know why I keep thinking it. What's her name? She's the governor of is it Michigan?
Gretchen. Big Gretchen.
Was it? Was with her?
Weimar? Is that her last
name?
name?
Like she was. like she was targeted, like that. Remember, people was thinking that they tried to do something bad to her because she wouldn't lift the bans in her the restrictions in her state.
Whitmer. Sorry, Gretchen Whitmer.
Very smart.
My bad.
lady.
I'm not from Michigan.
Governor of Michigan. Very smart lady. Very pretty. She seems like she's a very nice person. But for some reason, and I like her. But for some reason, when I see her
She told you she wanted to cook and eat, you'd be like, yes, this tracks.
I was just joking with Joy about this. I was like, Joy, look at her eyes. Look at her. This woman is into some weird stuff at home. And I don't know why I think this.
As long as Mr. Whitmer's on board for it, I say you go, Gretch.
I mean, have you ever seen Billions, the series on Showtime?
No.
So one of the characters, very powerful. Everybody's afraid of him. So when he's at home with his wife, he likes to her to be in charge. I'll just put it like that. So
that's pretty common.
I feel like there's a dungeon somewhere, and I don't know why.
I'm just saying that's pretty common. And again,
Army Hammer is probably
nothing wrong with that.
There's gonna be a big,
adults want to do that.
Yeah,
I say go nuts.
Breaking story, probably gonna come out next week. Army Hammer has like a basement full of livestock, and it's just gonna be, it's just gonna be weird.
We're gonna get sued for some kind. We're lucky more people don't watch this because we're getting sued.
Well, I mean, I didn't say it was true. I just said I wouldn't be surprised.
Allegedly.
All right, let's save ourselves from. You're right. We're opening ourselves up to some lawsuits. All right. Let us know what you guys think about Army Hammer and his weird stuff going on in his world. And if you haven't thought about it, if you don't care, just say and then we'll just move on. All right, what's the next?
I'm loving this typo from the Los Angeles Times, where I feel like I'm living.
Did I put Los Angeles?
You did. I love it. From the Los Angeles Times, are you familiar with it? I feel like I'm about to pitch a religion. Are you familiar with a new phenomenon called churn? Data suggests it's becoming harder for media and entertainment companies to retain subscribers as competition increases. The problem is that because they're so easy to cancel, those services are seeing a lot of people leave after they finish watching the shows that convinced them to sign up in the first place. That phenomenon, known in the industry as churning, I thought this was about butter. I'm bummed. Known as churn, according to a survey of 1,100 people in October, 46% of respondents canceled at least one streaming service in the last 6 months, which is a dramatic increase of the 20% who said a similar thing in a poll last January of last year. Of the people surveyed who canceled a streaming subscription, 62% did so because they finished the show they were looking to watch. So that's churn. Have you ever churned?
Butter.
Are you a churner?
No, I've never. I have
Tina
every
Turner?
subscription that I have.
I can Tina Turner. I'm done. Go on.
I mean, it wasn't funny, but I give you a break.
Not.
I mean, Joe Ryan's probably like, yeah, that wasn't funny, Amy, but we'll see. But
yeah, I thought we were friends.
I never knew that that's what it was called or what people are trying to call it. But quit trying to make churn happen.
I feel like this is maybe is an industry thing,
like
but
a fair
I've never
weather
heard
fan, like you own.
And I don't think I will, but
like it's like when people like with the Mandalorian. It's like I got on Disney Plus mainly for the Mandalorian. Now that season 2 is done, I'm gonna cancel Disney Plus and wait for the Mandalorian because they make it so easy to cancel, and that's what people are doing. They're just bouncing on and off of these subscriptions until their favorite show comes back to save the money.
I don't think I've ever done this.
A lot of people do it. Yeah.
I'm not saying people don't.
They're called quitters.
Nobody does it. I can only speak from my personal life experience, Chris.
But you said you don't do that at all. You just keep the.
No, I mean,
but whose password are you using, really? I mean, honestly,
that's the real thing. I don't think I pay for streaming services. I paid for Hulu for a while, but then I found out my brother has Hulu, and I just stole that.
Oh, breaking news.
But I think honestly, if there's a show I really want to watch on a streaming service I don't have, I don't watch it, or I bug a friend to let me borrow their password to watch it.
Still a password, yeah.
Yeah.
And
But honestly,
speaking of which,
there is
you're
so
messing up
much-
my algorithm on my Netflix. You need to relax.
Well,
with
that's
all
why
the-
Netflix is the real MVP, because they let you actually like pick your own little, you get your little face,
yeah.
and then you get to go. Don't show the rest of my family what I've been watching.
That private browser on Netflix, that 361 DNI. Oh, breaking news! We have Joe Ryan does approve of your Tina Turner joke. So
Oh, hell yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what's wrong with that guy, because it was not funny.
It wasn't funny, but we're all just doing our best these days.
But yeah, I don't churn. Everything that I subscribe to,
I
I've
promised
kept it.
jokes. I didn't promise good jokes, Chris.
Yeah.
Read my contract.
Waka. But the no, I've never done that. I've always everything that I've subscribed to, I'm still a part of, unless if I feel like this isn't for me, or I'm not getting what I thought it was gonna be, then I'll cancel it for good. But I'm still with Netflix. I've still got Hulu.
Yeah.
All of HBO Max, I'm loving it.
Honestly, if there's so much media out there that I feel like if there's something I was thinking about watching and it's not on the streaming service I have access to, I just move on.
So in the live chat, is it Woo Boy or Whoa Boy says, I got rid of DC Universe after I finished watching Swamp Thing. DC Universe turned out to be a huge ripoff because it was like, you have HBO, you have DC Universe, you have HBO another HBO one, and then HBO Max came out that had all the stuff that you could get on the previous apps. So it was like, why am I still paying for DC Universe when it's going to be on HBO Max anyway, and I get all that other extra stuff? Why am I it's like Warner Brothers had like 4 or 5 different apps, and some of them did all the same stuff. I was like, you're ripping us all off. Just put it all on HBO Max. So eventually, I think isn't DC Universe, isn't that gone? Guys, help me out in the live chat. Let me know, is DC Universe still a thing, or did they cancel that app, because you can get that on HBO Max now? But
I guess all that to say, especially as there are more and more
so expensive
services,
now. It's so expensive.
I could see doing this moving forward. Here's the thing, it's like between like stealing passwords and like I've paid for Hulu before and some stuff, but it's like really it's like you get like Prime, Amazon Prime, Hulu, Netflix, maybe HBO. But like all of a sudden it's like, okay, I could see writing that off as like, I'll pay the, whatever, $8 because it's worth it for me to watch these couple of things, and I'll get that done in a month or two. And so I get it. I just personally haven't done it.
Yeah, I haven't either. I pretty much stick with it unless I realize, hey, I can get this same service somewhere else, and then I'm not getting what I want out of it, and then I just move on. I'm sorry, I'm checking something on my phone here. I realized that. But if you guys, I don't know, churning, I don't know. I don't. There are some people out there who are like, I'm only gonna hop on here for a hot second, binge watch this thing, get in, get out, bada boom, bada bing, right?
Which I think is going to, because
they're going to figure out a way to stop that.
Becomes so saturated, I think we're going to see more of that, and I think it is going to make things like it's part of why Netflix's, roster is such a good idea, because like we all got on Netflix because it's like, well, I want to watch like The Office or Parks and Rec or West Wing or whatever's on there, and like that's my comfort show, and it's worth it for that.
Exactly.
And as those are disappearing, it's like, well, okay, even if there's, the thing that comes out this week doesn't interest you, there's another movie coming out next week.
Yeah.
You're not going to, cancel it. You have to, these services are going to have to figure out how to set themselves apart and make themselves.
Well, Disney Plus and HBO Max have pretty much started to do that. Now that WandaVision and all these other shows are starting to come out, pretty soon it's going to be like back to back. After like some of these shows are going to be going on, in the same week. After WandaVision on Friday, then Winter Soldier maybe Saturday or something like that. Some of these shows go ahead.
I wonder, because Disney Plus has certainly been doing it. I wonder if we're going to see a push towards week-to-week releases as opposed to dumping everything in one go.
Yeah, that's what Disney Plus is doing now already.
That's what I said. Yeah, Disney Plus is, but I could see more streaming services, not Netflix necessarily, because
Netflix has decided that that's their thing, binge watch, because they have so many.
They don't have to worry.
Yeah, they
but
don't have
these
to worry
newer
about it.
services,
Yeah.
I could see them going, this show is our bread and butter.
Yeah.
We have 10 episodes. We can at least milk people's money for
Yeah.
2 months instead of
Oh
one.
yeah. 2021, when HBO Max announced that these movies that were slated for theaters are now coming on HBO Max, just look how they spread it out. It's like, well, I was gonna get rid of HBO Max after I watched this movie, but now this other movie I might be interested in is coming out in March or something, so I might as well keep it. They're like milking it and thinning it out for the whole year. That's the plan. That's exactly what's going on, and they're smart for doing it. Because they don't have the quantity that Netflix is pumping out, because they're starting from scratch. Even Netflix didn't have all that going on that first year when they were streaming, so they had to build. And now that HBO Max, Peacock, and all these other shows streaming services are pulling their content away from Netflix and taking their stuff back for their own thing, Netflix, that like the geniuses they are, they saw the writing on the wall. They were like, that's why we have to kill the game with all of our original content, because everybody else is taking their stuff away from us. So Netflix is going to be fine. They're going to continue to do the binge thing for the 99% of their stuff. But you're right, HBO Max, Peacock, Amazon Prime. I think Marvelous Miss Maisel is a week by week thing, right?
Take a little.
Just take a little bit. It's like crack,
Money, please.
Yeah, exactly. Only the first sample is free. Now you gotta pay. But let me know, guys. Are you a churner?
We did ask. We asked the community
what they say
if they churn. Feels
If
like
you
I
get
feel
churned-
like I'm on like a Riverdale kind of show where they like try to make up slang. Like, yeah, bro, you churn.
we're gonna make what is it? We're gonna make Fetch. The people from the makers of Fetch. We got churn.
Churn. We asked if you churn.
I get churned.
73% says yes, I will cancel and subscribe again when my show returns. 27% said no, I will just keep this subscription year round.
Right. And that is still up on the community tab. So guys, go vote. Let us know which one are you? Are you a person that will get churnt? And I think that's what they should call it. They should call it getting churnt. Make one of those yeet churnt videos. You're going. You know anything about that? The yeet eat. You don't know anything about that. You don't listen to today's hip hop. I understand. You're not as hip as I am, the 40-year-old guy on this end. But I think that you guys, let us know what you guys are doing. Are you guys the kind of people that I just keep the subscription, or are you like Amy? Yeah, I'm gonna cancel that shit. And,
I said I don't. I'm lying.
She lying. She is lying. Let us know what you guys think and put it in the box below. And
if you like what you saw, make sure to subscribe to the channel and please drop a like on this video. It really does help us. Also, don't forget you can turn on notifications so you don't miss a single review, react, why is that trending, or we got your mail.